Hi, friends. Today we are talking all about the fall of France and the Battle of Britain. While you're watching this video, these are the questions I would like you to consider. Why did the neutrality laws fail to prevent America's growing involvement with the conflict in Europe? And after appeasement failed, do you think the United States had an obligation to help the Allied powers? Why or why not? After the surrender of Poland, there's a period of inaction known as the Phony War. An ominous silence falls on Europe as Hitler turns his attention towards France. With Poland defeated, Hitler's able to concentrate all of his efforts on this Western assault, and he achieves several very swift victories. In April of 1940, he overruns Denmark and Norway, followed by Belgium and the Netherlands. At the time of the Battle of the Netherlands, 10-year-old Anne Frank is living in Amsterdam. That same year, the Nazi Party implements restrictive laws on Jews, and Anne and her sister Margot are forced to withdraw from their schools and enroll in the Jewish Lyceum. It would be 2 more years before the Frank family went into hiding and Anne began writing her diary. After conquering the Low Countries, Hitler invades France. Hitler's success is absolutely undeniable at this point, and he allies with Italian fascist leader Mussolini. Mussolini joins with Hitler to push the French troops north. After being driven all the way back to the English Channel, Allied troops perform a chaotic but ultimately successful retreat known as the Evacuation of Dunkirk. Interestingly, both the Axis and the Allied powers used this event in their propaganda. The Allies claimed that even though it was a retreat, it's considered successful because of Britain's ability to salvage the bulk of their army. Additionally, we see the introduction of Winston Churchill, one of the great heroes of World War II. The Axis powers cite Germany's superior military strength and their ability to force the Allies into a hasty retreat. At this point in America, there are fears mounting about the possibility of a fascist Europe. And these fears are largely valid, as we can see by a map of Europe in 1941. The quick fall of France shocked Americans. With France gone, England was the only power capable of fighting off Hitler. The consequence of Hitler conquering Britain cannot be overstated. He would have control of workshops, shipyards, and slave labor for the entirety of Western Europe. In addition, he would inherit the powerful British Navy. Actual, literal world domination would be within Hitler's sights. This possibility terrified Americans, and finally, America was forced into action. Citing the threat to American security if Germany overtook Britain, FDR asked Congress to begin preparations for war. Congress overwhelmingly approved and allocated funds to build a navy capable of warfare on both the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, and a huge air fleet. In addition, they passed a conscription law providing for the training of 1.2 million troops a year. After the surrender of France, Hitler continued his relentless pursuit in Britain. The Battle of Britain is best known for the Blitz, a period of strategic bombing against Britain that Hitler began in September of 1940. The word Blitzkrieg comes from the German words lightning and war. So together, Blitzkrieg means lightning war. The Blitz is an aerial battle that happens over Britain, fought between British pilots in the Royal Air Force and the German pilots of the Luftwaffe. Hitler had planned a land-based invasion following the Blitz, but he was forced to postpone indefinitely after being unable to make any significant advancements. Before the fall of France in 1940, the US had generally observed a technical neutrality. But now, as Britain stood alone between Hitler and his dream of world domination, the wisdom of neutrality seemed increasingly questionable. After seeing the destruction caused in the Blitz, Roosevelt acted in direct violation of his neutral declaration. He gave 50 World War I-era destroyers to Britain. Even though this violated U.S. neutrality, many Americans were sympathetic to the decision. They felt obligated to help Britain at any cost short of war.